Now, this isn't a video I necessarily was going out of my way to want to make or just stir up controversy in the community, but I feel like we cannot grow as a community if we do not have the hard quote-unquote conversations, because I believe that is the best way to grow as people and hear out everybody's thoughts and opinions. That being said, I will not make this video to hate towards any group of people. That is not the goal with it and not the intention. But getting right into it, is Borderlands 4 woke? And I could sit here and talk about what woke is for the next hour and a half, but hey, we're not going to do that. Based off what we've seen in the trailer and the representation we've seen from the 4 Vault Hunters and many other characters in the trailer, no. As a whole, I do not believe that Borderlands 4 is going to be woke DEI garbage, as a lot of people have been stating. The only reason I say that is I see many Reddit threads saying that it's the new Concord, that these Vault Hunters are Concord inspired, and there's not much to them. I think we're confusing other games with simply normal Borderlands character design. If you look at the Borderlands characters from separate games, none of them have really stood out other than maybe Borderlands 3. I mean, if we look back in Borderlands 1, you had a big buff dude in a t-shirt, a soldier dude in a shirt, sniper dude in a shirt with a mask. I mean, there wasn't much to it. But I think the reasoning behind these characters looking the way they do is because we're going back to that wastelandic feel. These random people that are Vault Hunters are coming into Pandora, similar to Borderlands 1 and 2. Borderlands 3 simply stood out because it was more extravagant, it was more exaggerated when it came to the Vault Hunters. These characters were cool, badass people with different implications. You had a siren that was a popular person, you had Flak, which was an AI for a rich dude, you had Zane, which was Captain Flynn's brother, which was already an assassin. You've had these quote-unquote established characters with major backgrounds, but when you go into the Borderlands forecast, these are just a bunch of random people that are looking to hunt the vault, similar to the same 4 Vault Hunters in Borderlands 1 and the same 4 Vault Hunters in Borderlands 2. The only reason the Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters are sticking out to so many people is, one, the art style, which I could definitely agree with, but the biggest mystery of Borderlands 2 was probably Zero, and he's still to be a mystery to this day. If we look at Maya, even Gage and Axton and Salvador, they're all just people. They're simply dressed in normal clothing. Maybe Gage has a more steampunk vibe to her, but Axton is just wearing military fatigue, Salvador is a short dude in a shirt, and Maya is just a girl in a shirt. There's no cool tech on their bodies, they're very similar. The only distinguishing feature that the Borderlands 2 Vault Hunters had was Krieg was a literal psycho, so that shocked everybody. But other than Krieg and Zero, everyone else was just a person. Now we even go into the pre-sequel, where people were just people in the pre-sequel. They had the nice character designs, and I do agree, I think the clothing could be done a little bit better, and I feel like there could be more features that make them a lot more memorable, but I don't think this is the start of the whole woke controversy. And a lot of people have been saying that just because the new siren is apparently unattractive, that means that they're also woke for not sexualizing women. Listen, there's a lot of hot women in Borderlands. I mean, I'll even put a frame of a hot woman that was literally in the same trailer that people are arguing that didn't have hot women, and stuff like that really confuses me. I don't know if people leave the house much, but I don't know, man. My biggest concern doesn't even have to do with all this stuff. It has to do with, is the game gonna be good? Is the end game gonna be good? Because that's what I really give a shit about. I don't care if the siren is gay with 36 nipples. I really don't care. My biggest issue, and I think a lot of other people's biggest issue, is they don't want representation to outscale the actual creative value of games, and that I do agree with. If the game's focus is to be more inclusive and then in turn not focusing on the game, then obviously yes, that's going to have some implications and issues for people that play the games. But until further notice, and at least in my humbled opinion, I don't see any of that currently happening. I do hope that we get some more answers when it comes to pearlescence and other important gameplay features that we actually do care about, because when it comes down to the brass tacks, Borderlands could be as colorful and hippity-doo-dah as it wants to be, but if the game isn't good, the game isn't good and people aren't going to play it, so nobody's going to be there to even give a skag's ass. But then again, this is just my Borderlands Termex opinion. If I'm completely wrong, try to have a civil discussion in the comments down below. But moving on from the whole representation topic and going into the other things that I feel are going to be important with Borderlands 4, I think we have some room to discuss when it comes to the actual lore of the game. I've seen a lot of comments of people saying that the Great War isn't happening and that whole arc has been completely abandoned, when the first 10 seconds of the trailer are literally a great war of have two people warring. I don't know. Maybe I'm smoking on the good iridium, but I think the Great War arc is going to happen. And the reason I think they didn't show a lot of the previous characters is to maybe not build up too much hype just now and allow some time for that first trailer to set in, get some feedback possibly, and maybe they will listen to us when it comes to the characters and maybe perhaps redesigning them or adding something to them that makes them more memorable, but that is something I wouldn't push my luck on. But if I'm going to be 100% honest, I think we're probably going to see the most death in Borderlands 4 than we've ever seen in any other Borderlands game, mainly because this is probably going to be the last Borderlands game, in my humble opinion, and I do think we need some more death in the game to have some sort of impact on the storyline. That's just how storylines are. It happens with The Walking Dead, it happens with Game of Thrones, any major thing that you've seen, that's just simply how it is. And I know a lot of people are going to just run to the comments and saying I'm just trying to, oh, Termex, you're just trying to be nice, you're trying to get in good graces with Gearbox and No, if something was blatantly obvious that I didn't like them doing, I would obviously share it on the channel, but I think people are very severely overreacting to a lot of it. I think for everyone saying that Borderlands is going woke, we should go into the older Borderlands games and compare the wokeness levels. Okay, so the first one we're going to go over is we're going to go into Borderlands 2 because it's even my favorite Borderlands game. I love Borderlands 2 to death, but let's see how woke Borderlands 2 was. Well, Axton, you know, the hunter that a lot of people love, well, he was bisexual and he did prawn with other men. If you didn't know, now you know. Word I can't say. But everyone's gonna be like, hey, Termex, that's only one character. They made two guys kiss in Borderlands 3, and they made it a DLC to spread their woke virus. Sir Hammerlock, yeah, he's been gay. He's, how did you not know? He's been fruity since, like, the first mission you meet him in Borderlands 2. There's literally a dialogue during the Fur of the Bullymong quest, the first side quest you get from him, where he references his boyfriend when it comes to the Bullymong fur. Alright? That is how far back the whole quote-unquote Borderlands is woke nonsense. If you are going by that logic, then Borderlands 2 has been woke since the main menu screen with Axton and the first mission you're forced to do with Hammerlock, but I didn't see anyone complaining on Twitter back in 2012 about Borderlands being woke back then, so there's my argument with that. Then I could go on and say that in the pre-sequel, Janny Springs liked women, but I guess people don't care that it's woke, or don't claim to be woke if it's girl on girl because people are just freaks. But other than that, I'm not going to sit here for 20 minutes and inform you guys on the fact that Borderlands has always had somebody that's gay, lesbian, loves trucks, likes to have integration with forks. That's just what Borderlands is. Borderlands has representation, has always had representation since its inception, and there's probably other games like Borderlands 1 and maybe some other stuff I don't even remember because I wasn't even really paying attention to it to begin with. I'm just pointing out the stuff that I do vividly remember. But I will agree to the sentiment that the Borderlands 4 Vault Hunters do feel like they're lacking in personality. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat and try to defend that, but I will defend the fact that I don't really think the game is showing any signs of going woke anytime soon. But things may change, things may not, but that's just my opinion currently. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I do appreciate you guys watching today's Borderlands video. If you want to stick around for more Borderlands content, it'd mean a lot if you hit the like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on another video from me, guys. Stay safe, and I will see you all later.